We're about to go live here, guys. As soon as YouTube gives me the cue so I can see myself on screen, it's crazy that I got to wait on this thing. And I believe that we are live. As soon as I pop up on the screen, we can go. There we go. All right. We are live. This is Wall Street Sizing Up. So welcome. We have one goal, and that is to help you profit off the insider knowledge of the hedge fund bros. Or to put it another way, we profit off the smart money we analyze, not just their stocks they trade into, but the actual players. So oftentimes we bet the jockey, not the horse, because we know that they know far more than we do. That's their job, and they've got billions and billions of dollars behind them. We know they manipulate the markets, and it's not just hedge funds; it's investment funds and crypto. It's big whales. First up, I want to thank all my new subscribers to the channel. The channel is stocktrade.tips. If you're coming here from the YouTube side of the house, I've gained quite a few followers just doing basically reposting TikTok. So follow us on TikTok at stocktrade.tips, just like the website, right? So that's where you're going to find us. I typically try to do this in 10 minutes. It never works, so I've cut down. I'm going to do two stocks today. The stocks to watch from the Monday morning opening bell on the 22nd. And then on the channel, I'll be giving out some more advice, some today and some tomorrow. So I got to get back to my kiddo. My wife, her dad is taking a turn for the worse and got sepsis from. Did you know that you can get sepsis from a cat bite? Did not know that. But with that said, let's do what we came here to do, and that is stocks to watch. First up, you see it. This is SPLP is the ticker, SPLP. Now, Steel Partners. You cannot trade it on Robinhood, right? So you're going to have to go to your, to me, I've got to go to my TD Ameritrade, but you're going to have to go to a different account. Robinhood does not. You can see the chart and all the different bells and whistles that Robinhood offers. If you haven't used the expand or the level 2 action yet, it's actually pretty good. And now Robinhood's got the IPO access, which they'll be adding to the app. If not late this week, first part of next week for everyone, so you can get in on IPOs. Not sure how that's really going to work out for the retail investors starting out, so tread lightly. That said, let's get to it. SPLP. All right. SPLP. This is a very, very interesting stock. First of all, how I found it. I found it through the SVP. In fact, I can show you. You can go to openinsider.com and you can look all this stuff up. Now, I'd say this is one of my little secrets, but it's out there. But the problem is you got to go through every stock and research them, right? Has it pumped? Has it not? Who sized up? How much, right? Is it a good stock? Is it a good short-term stock, long-term stock? Is it just a trade stock? If it's pumped 20, 30, 40%, I'm usually out. But today, a little different. So I found it through an SVP. He sized up with a new $268,000 position. That's not, in the grand scheme of things, with institutional investors, that's not a lot. But for one guy and for me, that's a lot of money. Now, he has, since the trade on the 19th, right, on May 19th, he's up 20%. So you typically wouldn't look at that, but it's got some momentum. And then we look at the TAs and the technicals, you'll see that. But Steel Partners, they're in various industries. I did not see steel as one of them, so bear that in mind. They're in various industries and products. I'm talking like even cybersecurity. They're in consumables, things of that sort. All right, good and bad. So the earnings they grew 650% last year. They look like they continue to grow. It's got a price target. It sits about $25, $26 now, as you can see on the screen here, right? It is undervalued. The price target is 30. I've got a tool that said 32. I've got tools that don't even know about this stock or don't even cover the stock. I did see, I want to say that there was one buy that I did see. But the interesting thing about this stock and what you need to know is it is 60% owned by insiders. That's big, right? Because the insiders, they want the stock to go up, right? And that's why Robinhood doesn't trade. It's got a really thin trade. In fact, let me go to FinBiz here. Well, the float's 18.8, so it's got a good float, but 60% of the of insiders own this. Only 4% of the public owns this. Like I said, the insiders basically gave themselves a 3.75 or 37 cents unit distribution, okay, to the preferred A's. One of these, this is where the work comes in, right? So you got to look all that stuff up. But then you look at who owns it. A man named Mario Gambelli. We talked about him on the channel a little bit, right? But this man is a absolute Wall Street, one, icon that nobody knows about. Two, the man is like 70 plus years old, been doing it for, I don't even know, 40 years. Some crazy ass like that. So he knows the ins and outs. He's not, sometimes he's valued, but for the most part, he's more of a hedge fund mentality, maybe a swing trade, maybe a 2-3 month trade. But lately he's been getting more long term. He does have like institutional, not just his like hedge fund side, which is Gameco, but he's also got the Gambelli funds, right? And those are, I want to say they're indexes. They're actually little things you can buy. In fact, let me look at the holders here really quick and see if you can pull them up. Yeah, you can see them like Gambelli ABC Fund, Gambelli Dividend Income Trust, Gambelli GDL. So this dude owns this stock, and you can see that Gambelli Funds right here owns 3.47 under the 5%, so he doesn't have to report. But then you come down, you see Gameco, right? That's his hedge fund side. This guy is a monster. So when he's in a stock, you know it is a growth stock. So that's the first thing. Now let's go to the TA really quick. So I'm going to go to FinViz first and look at a little bit of things. So essentially, if you can see it on the screen, let me pull it down. This thing is, I mean, it's absolutely following the 20-day. Now, from literally like mid-January to first part of April, I mean, it was as flat could be. But it was following that 20-day SMA, followed all the way up, and it continues. Now, it did pull back. No, it was up on Friday, but it was off its highs, though. So it's literally, this looks like the stock to flow on Bitcoin. You can see what it did last year. Last year, it was up 467%. There is no short float. Insider transactions are quite a bit. There's a lot of buying going on. So that's another big hint here. Let me go to the technicals here. All right. So if you can see it on the screen, you can. Okay, good. So we got the signal to buy here, and that's still the signal. The RSI does look like it's still trending up, although it looks like it may roll over on Monday. And then our proprietary algorithm here is still in the green. You could say it's a little bit overbought. Overbought, yes. And so, but I like this stock. So, price target is 30. What did I say on the technicals? Following the 20-day look, it looks like your base support's going to be, I mean, if this thing falls, it could really fall back to about 23, 22.8. So be careful. Your big time base support is going to be right around 20. So if this thing starts to fall, you got to get out. Like 5% down, done, just cut it. You might wait for it to get back in, but it could fall significantly. So with great upside comes great risk, right? And so that's what we're promoting here. This is SPLP. I wouldn't call it a YOLO because there is some technical TA fact behind it, and that's what we're going to roll with. So next up, we got, let me see on the screen there, PRCH. This is the Porch Group. Very similar to the SPLP. And one of the things, let me just tell you what they do. So they do software for home services. In fact, they just bought, if I can get this right, they just bought the Homeowners of America, which is one of the largest insurtech companies in the U.S. I believe it's number 2 or 3. This was a SPAC, so let me get to this real quick. So you can see once they announced it, boom, it shot up, and SPACs just have not done well. After about the first month, they're just toast. There's a lot of reasons why that is, but just know that when you invest in SPACs, you better be careful. This is a short-term trade. South Point Capital, got him in front of me. A guy named John Clark runs South Point Capital. They have about 5.5 million shares of PRCH, right? That's about a $20 million position. They just bought 1.6 million new shares on May 11th. So they waited the entire 10 days, right? They are up, from what I can understand, they're up 30%. Big no-no in my book. That's a big pump. But I started to look at the technicals, who was in this thing, why they might be in this thing, and here's what I found. The revenue forecast to grow 40% this year. That's big. Price target, it sits at 17. Price target is at 26 to 28. I've got 3 buy ratings. I've got an outperform rating on it. The RSI. Let me take you to the bigger one here. It's outrun everything. It's outrun the 20-day. It's outrun the 50-day, which is huge. It looks like it is. It's in a uptrend since first part of May. So there's a lot to like about here, right? But it is sitting on, or it's about to hit a big resistance line, and that's going to be about the 18-20 mark. So know that. Know that if it were to fall back, probably your base support, I'm looking at about $16. So could fall $1 back. Again, all rules count here. If you don't know our rules are cut losses quickly and let your winners run. That's basically it. And the third rule truly is don't trade before really an hour after the bell, just to let everything kind of cool down and even out from the buy and sell orders from the night before. Now there are clear caveats to that third rule, especially if something gaps up big, 5, 8, 10%, take the profits and move on, right? But a big gap down, you might could add some there too, though. But a big gap down kind of scares me, because if it continues to go down, you're going to have to cut it regardless. But try not to trade until an hour after the bell. That's the third rule. So I've got resistance at about 18. I get the support about 16. The RSI is overbought. Now we did get a signal to buy here. You can see here on and it's there. It's not changing, right? And that was at $12. It's gone up $5. That was back in go figure. That was right at May 11th. So it has not stopped. It is still in the green in the proprietary software. And we like this stock. I really do. It could open down. I don't see it opening down, but if it does, the rules apply. 62% ownership by Wall Street. That's big. 18% insider owned. That's big. typically your insider owned, you see, sometimes you don't see any, but 5% would be high. This has got 18%. SPLLP had, whatever I said that was, 60%. So we like these two stocks. So SPLP, PRCH, you see why. Even the PRCH technicals say buy. The SPLP said that it's a strong buy. I'm not saying this is a long-term stock. I like what they do. Again, it's a SPAC, and you really got to watch out for those. SPACs and biotech literally act the same way. Volatile. In fact, the entire market right now is extremely sensitive to anything. What I find funny is that if you had good earnings on the typical stock stayed about the same, it might have gone up a little bit. But if you had bad earnings, that's a 5% drop. Boom. So you got to watch out for those. Earnings season is now over. We'll wait 2 more months to get into the next earnings season, or 3 months. Sorry. So SPLP, PRCH, I like. If you want a YOLO, a wild card stock, we've been in this stock before. I'm just gonna be real honest with you. HC, we cut it. I don't know. It might have been 3 weeks ago, maybe even a month ago. We've had some insider buying. I don't know. It's a very volatile stock. It's one that if it goes up 4%, I'm taking profits and I'm running. That's another thing. Let me explain this to you just really quick, right? In these choppy markets, and they're choppy and they're sensitive, just like I said, hey, I see the hedge funds, if they get a 5, 6, 7, 8%, boom, they're out. They're just out. Because they know the downside risk, they know the asymmetrical risk as well. If you don't know what that is, Google that. But typically on a trade, you have a $2. So asymmetrical risk would be that the upside is far more than the downside. So let's say on a $5 stock, it could go down to, or it could go up 7. That's an asymmetrical trade, and those are the trades you want to look for in the setups. So anyway, look at HC. I don't have it up here on the technicals. No, I don't. So there you are. SPLP, PRCH, HC. I talk too much. I'm going to do a TikTok about those as well on the channel. I'm going to give my guys one more today, and this is for the Monday morning opening bell on the 22nd. Hope that was not too long. I appreciate you guys. Thank you very much for watching, and we'll see you next time. It's like we always say, watch your six, you go hard in the paint. Next time, guys, we'll see you. Cheers.